these more cash flow type markets, right? Hold on, let me
What
get
what
Ike.
what, what market is he in?
So he is like in Indianapolis, I believe.
Okay.
A lot of Midwest markets. A lot of I believe primarily single family homes is his method. But I know he's dabbling into the rent by the room now because single family homes are getting harder and harder to cash flow. So he's going down the rent by the room model. But let me get Ike off the screen here, and then maybe he can pop back in because I think he's frozen here. Remove. Let me see. Hold on. There we go. Oh no, how do I get rid of this shit? There we go. Let's do this for now. All right. Yeah, Gus says Ike talking that investor shit this morning. Let's see. Let's see. Craig says my tiny house costs about the same. We need to compare notes. Oh, he's talking to Hyder. Brady says benefits of debt destruction apply to both 15 and 30-year AMs. Just depends on how quickly you want the equity. 30 years can be a long time to wait, but it's true. It sees more benefit due to longer time. Yeah. So the one thing I'm going to say is, out of all my guests, Ike probably has the worst Wi-Fi. So I believe Kansas may have the worst Wi-Fi in the country, possibly. Can't say I've had everyone from every state, so but I'll just say from everyone that's been on, Kansas seems to be the worst area. His Wi-Fi is always horrible when he comes on. It's yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So Jason Hartman spoke at the event this past year. I believe he might be there again this year. I'm not familiar if he's going to be. I haven't seen. But yeah, definitely he came up with or coined that term inflation induced debt destruction. So we want to give him that credit. The person on X told me definitely we gotta give a shout out to Jason Hartman. Um, but do you ever have to kind of not explain that, but is that something you ever bring up with your clients that you work with, Joe, as far as the debt being paid down?
I mean, it comes up, but very, very infrequently. Because I mean, that's a lot of the clients that I'm working with are kind of in their early stages. Some get it and some don't. And so if somebody's not already thinking that way or already knows that way, explaining it's not really going to add much in many regards. Because just most people have so much going on, they don't want to think about the basics. They're just getting things going, and they see cash flow. They hear about real estate, and they watch the video, and they want to get started or whatever. But you know, the biggest thing that's on my mind right now is just income, right? I mean, like you shared that which I didn't expect you to share that story from X, but it's
Well, we
like what?
wanted to share stuff that you shared from yourself. You screenshot your own post and put it on Facebook.
That's right. That's right. It's
Hold
the only
on,
way
let
to
me.
do. It's the only way to do it.
All right, Ike is back. Hopefully, they said Ike,
Maybe.
you have tornado
Tornado
wireless
wireless.
in Kansas, and then someone said it's time to get Starlink.
Yeah.
I've actually been looking at that. It's gotten a lot cheaper since the last time I looked at it, but I haven't got there yet.
Sorry, Joe. So what were you saying? Bringing up that or
Well, yeah. It's like you know, I see people that are in all walks of life, all different situations, and it's like, okay, if someone's running a business making $1 million, it's like, well, shit, maybe I need to get into a different business, go do something else, go make some money somewhere else. Well, I mean, because people are building agencies, people are building construction companies, and I've thought a lot about that. What if I could build my own construction company, and then a lot of that dovetails into, investor types of financing and maybe even off-market deals. But the mortgage business is just it's time consuming. I have a deal that just died because the seller, and this is a primary residence, but the seller didn't negotiate on a low appraisal coming down, and we're 20K off. And there's a listing that's the exact carbon copy of this townhouse in Virginia that is listed for 20K lower, and it's the same price as what our appraisal came in at, and the seller won't budge because they're hard on their price. And it's like there's a listing next door that's the same price as the appraisal. So just deals are hard right now. There's so many deals just died at closing, just for random shit. So it's just time consuming.
so are you saying you're starting another business?
I'm not starting another business
amongst the 3 YouTube channels you have and newsletter, and you sound like the bald guy now, Brian Davila from Ryan Pineda and interviews with Zuber. Definitely,
yeah.
but to their, I know it's a frustrating interview to watch. Definitely it's kind of a challenging for Zuber fans to maybe watch the video, but I see where they're coming from. Like, and someone made a great comment on it, and it's kind of like, if you have that mindset, you look at Elon and Jeff Bezos, and they've all failed at things, right? So they're constantly trying something until it works, right? So I definitely see where if you have that entrepreneur mindset, you're going to continue seeing what sticks, right? So I definitely can see it from where they're coming from, as far as maybe trying the new trend out there to see what works, right?
Well,
Um,
Pineda is
go ahead.
definitely an entrepreneur. I remember him when he was a very all YouTube, art, colored hair, all that sort of stuff. And he's definitely, and I think he would totally admit to that. Is like he likes to find a trend, chase it down, make a lot of money, and then he can be making a lot of money with the trend and still be like, all right, what's the next thing out there? Like Pineda is definitely that type of entrepreneur. But I think they gave Zuber good advice with some of the book and stuff. I also think that Zuber points out they're very different audiences that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Zuber even agreed to it. He agrees that the book idea definitely made sense. He's put that on his 2027 kind of to do list, right, or goal for 2027, and that's going to be his focus. And I believe he even bought the URL already for the kind of. It's going to be a book for like the everyday wealth builder, I believe, or kind of that's going to be what it's framed around, because they did give him good advice and I totally agree that his book may not be very relevant in 5 years. His first book.
Yeah.
So he's trying to find a book that makes reaches more people and is more of a general audience, I guess it touches. Yes. Hey, James Hillis is here. Yes, Gus. I got a schedule with Craig coming on the live. Craig is definitely one we'll have a fun time with. Brady says, I lasted less than a year as a commercial loan officer. That lending shit is a ton of work. I'm not lying. Craig says, doing real work in construction is so much more rewarding. I love outsourcing BS paperwork. Yeah. Let's see here.
Bill, on your business as a loan officer, do you look at it as a future investment though? Because compared to 2020, transactions are way down, which I know really hurts real estate agents and then really hurts you guys because you can't even be doing really refinances right now, except in rare circumstances. So do you see this as like a slow market that you can build and then the next cycle be able to take advantage of what you've built to actually have a big company and already be existing in the market? Or how do you look at that?
Yeah, and that's a good question. And I think about that a lot, almost every day, because the whole saying from like 2 or 3 years ago, marry the house, date the rate kind of a thing.
Yep.
I expected rates to come down at some point, and they haven't. And I expect just this to be the new normal. And I think this is a video that I was listening to a couple days ago by Ryan Serhant talking about, the life of a starter house. Starter houses don't exist anymore. Like they're out there, but no one's building starter houses. It's too expensive to build homes in most markets. So we're just in a new normal, and I don't think that's going to change. And I think if you don't build your brand and build a business that, if you're not growing, you're dying. Like I think there's going to be a lot of compression, a lot of people that are going to be out of the industry. So, it's definitely an opportunity to go build something, systems, processes, brand, network, all these distribution channels. And it's just only the best are going to survive, because I don't think this is going to change much. I think either you're in or you're out. People are going to be out of the industry in 2 or 3 or 4 years on lending and also on the agent side. So if rates go down and things pick up, I mean, cool. But at the same time, the longer that things stay the way they are, there's just going to be less competition.
I can't tell if Ike is frozen or he's very intrigued by what you're saying.
Right.
Because I believe he's frozen right now. But Harrison says Ike needs to write a book called Flipping Kansas, a firefighter story. Brady says it is a new normal, or are we back in the old normal pre 2020?
I think you have two sides of that equation, right? I mean, the number of transactions that are happening right now are all-time lows compared. We haven't seen these lows since like the mid 90s, I think. So the transaction number piece of it, I don't know if that changes much in all reality. So then you have, the business, right? And then you have, pre 2020, what was going on in real estate with just slow appreciation, 2 or 3% a year, not the 2020, 21 where you had 20, 30% appreciation in a year. I mean, I think you have two sides of the business. The business, I think, is going to be in a normal with just the low transactions, just, a lot of static. Whereas I think the appreciation side of business, I think we're going to see probably 2 or 3% a year, maybe, or maybe even it being stagnant. I don't know.
Yeah, Ike said his phone is crapping out on him, so he's going to try and hop on. But I see Blanca Najera. Thank you for stopping by. I haven't seen you here before. So James has a great question. So you talked about, I believe he's referring to you saying starter homes or single family homes being expensive to build or maybe purchase. But he says, Joe, if you remove the car payment and eating out, how much more affordable is a single family home or single family rental?
So median household income is like in the 70s, 80s, maybe. So let's say you're talking about somebody, it depends on someone's, where they are on their journey. If they're single, no kids versus somebody with a family, if you're making 50 grand and you take out a car payment and eating out, maybe you save an extra $800, maybe. And over a year, I mean, that's what is that? I don't know, 10 grand, 11 grand, maybe times two. I mean, that's your down payment. So I think people can afford a payment in many respects. Again, that kind of gets you back into that starter home. And I guess I'm thinking more Midwest, where you're talking like $300,000-$400,000 price range, with a payment in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. So people can probably afford a payment, but they just don't have the money for down. They don't have the money for down payment. So I think it definitely can make an impact. But it's like, if you're 25 and you buy a car, how are you going to get rid of your car payment? I mean, it's going to take 5 years.
I totally agree with what Brady's saying also. So I think a lot of us will definitely say homes are expensive right now relative to wages. I don't doubt that. But I do think more people can afford a home if they were smarter with personal finances. Yes, I definitely think that's maybe what a lot of the people tuning in will probably agree with that a little bit. As far as, yeah, we're not saying it's easy. I don't think anyone is saying it's easy to get a home, and definitely not saying that things aren't expensive. However, I do see, like I said, I never traveled a lot when I was younger. My parents definitely didn't take all these trips. I do see a lot of people traveling at a younger age now and doing a lot of more adventurous things. And not saying that's wrong or anything, but definitely people are spending a lot more money when they're younger on different things and experiences. And I get that too, but definitely that's part of it, right? Like, so to what Brady's saying, maybe if they had smarter personal finances in some ways, it could help, right? But yeah, definitely we're not saying it's easy at all, but it comes down to discipline and sacrifice, right? Brady says pay cash for cars, don't use credit cards except for emergencies, buy groceries instead of eating out. Lots of things people could do differently. Oh, absolutely. But I think once they get their hooks in you, right? That you go to school, you get a student loan possibly, things like that. You get a credit card, you start charging, you say, oh, I don't have to pay for it up front. Everything's on payment now. Everything's broken down to monthly payments. And after a while, you're just like, oh shit, where's all this money going? And I think, but that goes back to the point, like Brady's saying, is it's smarter personal finances, right? Harrison's asking, Joel, how has traffic been for you in the Virginia market as far as investors asking for loans?
I'd say very low. I mean, just a few here or there. Some cash out, some HELOCs on primary residences, but it's been slow on the investor side.
All right, I believe Ike has given up. He said he'll let me know when he gets Starlink. So uh, James
Tomorrow.
James Hillis said most people don't want it bad enough. They want participation trophies. Um, I I agree with that somewhat. However, I think some of it is just it, they're not thinking about it early. So one like I was going back to, it's so easy to graduate high school and then say, oh, I'm gonna go see things, enjoy the world, and travel and do these things. And then, like I said, once they get their hooks in you, right, you're getting this kind of lifestyle and start charging things and putting things on charge cards and student loan. And then now it's like now you're in the rat race, right? Now it's like you've already kind of taken two steps back, right? So I definitely feel like that is part of it. So not that people don't want it bad enough. I think it's just by the time they realize they want it, it's like they've been like locked in right to that rat race. So it's definitely, I definitely see that.
Well, I mean, there's two things that are going through my brain. One, I mean, social media. I mean, the swiping, the scrolling. I mean, everything. The quick dopamine hits. It's just so easy, right? And then what we're talking about is hard, right? It's hard to go save money and cut things and, not go out with your friends. So like, I think people just want they want the easy fixes. They want the easy solutions, and these things that we're talking about are hard. And then also, I mean, the idea of buying a home for the most people that are in their 20s or 30s, they don't even think it's possible. So then if it's not possible, then you don't have something to work for. Then you're just content with the status quo and, you know, just getting by.
Yeah, Brady says subscription services are a big issue these days. Almost everything has a sub now, and it's easy to forget to cancel ones we don't use anymore. Billy Jackson adds in, this is another great point too. Is they aren't making starter cars anymore either. It's hard for some people to get that $8,000 car for a decent, or get that $8,000 for a decent used car in 2026. Hey, Yasik's here. I'm not sure where he is in the country, or he's out of the country, I believe, but not
He
sure
says
where he is.
Rome.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. There we go. Hey, Kevin's here. Good morning. As a 22-year-old, most people around my age are definitely traveling more, but they also spend money on frivolous things. Most don't sacrifice for their future, and they don't make or stick to a budget. Yeah, I said a lot of great points in there. I definitely do see that. Yeah. Econ Webb, Chris Webb, who was on last Friday, says, good thought, Mark. Yes, it is the journey out of the early rat race stages that can lead to people not even trying or listening to Dave Ramsey. Yasik says, the answer's been the same for a long time. To get to freedom stage, sacrifice, work hard, invest, and let time do its magic. Yeah. And Chris Webb says, thanks. Cash for clunkers. Decrease supply on the same demand increases price. Yeah, talking about, I believe, picking up used cars. Victor, hey, good morning, Victor. All right, let's dig into another clip since we're here and Ike's not here to that was these were all clips sent by Ike, so hopefully we can dig. I didn't even really pay attention to many of them, but I just have to remove the background on a lot of them so I don't get flagged again. But hold on, this is another one he wanted to discuss. Let's throw this one up.
It's the best time to buy real estate. Always the best time to buy real estate. Always the best time to buy real estate. What about in a bad market? Always the best time. If it's a bad market, it's a good time to buy. And if it's a good market, it's a good time to buy. You always want to be buying real estate. Why? Because it's generational. And if you're not going in with the flip, this is not like wholesaling and trying to get in and out. If you're going in and saying, I'm going to buy this property and I'm going to keep it for 10, 20, 30 years, it's always a good time to buy. And by the way, nobody can time a market. So you can watch all the stuff you want on the news, all the stuff you want in the newspapers. None of it's right. If anybody really knew, they'd be the richest man on earth. And one of them, Warren Buffett, will tell you all the time, he can't time anything.
All right. Looks like you're thinking about that one. What do you want to say on that one?
I mean, I agree. Like, but then the question is, well, how do you buy more real estate? Like that's what comes to mind. How do you
Well,
buy more? How do you keep buying more? If markets are going to go up and go down, you know you need to buy real estate. How do you buy more? You gotta just go
well,
make. We gotta increase income so you can save more money and then have more cash flow to go put into real estate.
yeah. So I think that definitely that is the obvious way, right? Is to figure out ways to increase your income.
That's not the
Uh,
obvious. That's not the obvious way.
what do you mean?
People talk about when people talk about investing. Most of the content out there is about strategy and this type and that type and this thing and that thing and taxes and but like the simple answer is just go make more money and then you can invest more.
Yeah, true, but I don't. But people can't sell you a course on how to make really more money at your W-2, right? So it's more also, and that's why you see a lot of people trying to figure out how to make properties cash flow, right? So whether it's rent by the room, whether it's short-term rentals, whether it's sober living, whether it's but even you touched on it earlier during cost segs. Some people are doing Airbnbs not to really make money. They're doing it for the tax benefits because they have a lot of W-2. So there's different ways to do it. And I think it's definitely, to kind of Craig's point, you need to increase your creativity is part of it. But that's also kind of why, like I'm saying, back to Steven's question, why wouldn't Zuber's ORAT book not be relevant in the future? Know your market, stay focused on one area, and work to find. So Steven from the Bronx, how long have you been looking in your market, right? So, and that's to the whole point of traditional single family home rentals. Like he said, 70% of the market it doesn't pencil anymore if you're going to do it straight, long term rental. And that's to Craig's point. People are getting creative out there, whether it's rent by the room, whether it's sober living. But as far as that principle of know your market, stay focused, one area, you know, it like I think it's going to be more about creativity, and people, as you see, are avoiding real estate as it is already. So that's why the book is not going to be as relevant to a lot of people, because not everyone is going. The people that are getting interested in real estate is getting, to me, fewer and fewer. Right?
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder, and a lot of people are
Either you're in or
avoiding.
you're out.
Yeah.
You're in or out. Which is a good thing. If you're already in, then that's a good thing. Because you have less newbies coming in.
Yep. Yep. Brady agrees. It's always a good time. It's just about adapting your strategy to the current market. If the market changes, you should too. You can always find deals no matter the market conditions, in my experience. And part of that too is where you're at in your journey. So those that have been doing it definitely have more levers to pull, and that's why it's easier for those to be more creative about it, right? Because I would not start with a burr if I was starting today. I would not start with any new builds. I was not, right. So it also, for a lot of people in the chat are probably somewhat experienced in investing, so they have more levers to pull and are willing to try a different strategy possibly. For someone starting today, I would definitely not have them started any other type of strategy. I mean, well, let me say, maybe they had a construction background and one, so maybe to that extent they could to dabble in something else. But for most people, a newbie starting today, I would not really want them diving into some sort of different strategy. Hey, Jacob's here. He does have a call tonight. Everyone in school, if you don't remember, he is doing a Stessa walkthrough. I forget what time that is. So if you're in the school community, go check that out. He's going to be breaking down how he uses Stessa in his operations. Craig Parsons says, in Joe's defense, forcing equity the same as earning more. Yeah, I agree to that.
Potentially, yeah.
Brady says was thinking the same thing about the book. I believe they're talking about.
Can I add on to who said that about forcing equity? Was that Brady? Who was that?
Craig.
Craig. Because what I'm talking about with increasing income is having extra dry powder to go acquire the next property in some regard. And so, yeah, if you're forcing equity out of your own skill, the purchase, putting in renovations, etc., then you have the ability, if you want, to go pull equity out once the property is stabilized, to then have cash to go buy the next one. So I mean, maybe that's what you're getting at on that too. But that's one of the things I wanted to dig deeper with Ike on, because he mentioned, hey, fix and flip, never doing that again. But then also more, I guess he was alluding to more buy, rehab, and keeping a property. And I was hoping to dig deeper on I'm not gonna do a flip and sell it, but I wanted to do a flip and keep it, and just hear more of the numbers and what he's seeing and doing. And
yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure he posted on X. If anyone's on X, but if you're in the school community, Ike did post all his numbers on the flip that he did, and I believe, yeah, because you don't go to school. But no, he might have posted it on X. I think, but I believe he posted the numbers. I want to say he made 10K possibly. And so like he said, right, definitely more of a learning experience than anything. Probably not worth his, I guess, if you factor in time, right, for the project, the 10K may not have been worth it. But he did put all the numbers. But I think for anyone, sitting on the sidelines or thinking about doing stuff, it's like, yeah, you got to realize that it's not going to be a home run. Well, percentages is not going to be a home run on your first dabble into something, but it's more learning the levers and the tools so that you keep getting better and better. And that's why, like in Ike's, point is that he did it. Now he knows certain things, what he's going to do differently on the next one. And hopefully it gets better and better from there. But you got to do that first one first, kind of to learn about it, right? So yeah, Jacob says, yeah, Stessa walkthrough is at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, if anyone's in school, go check it out. He uses Stessa in his operations for his out-of-state investing. Let's see. Oh, Jacob says, if you want to do a fun exercise, run your portfolio through Gemini or AI platform of your choice and ask it to predict its overall valuation in 10 years and what your debt balances will be. Man, well, what do you want to say about it? Do you have anything to say about that?
No.
I think personally, people are using AI too much in their rental portfolio. I think it would be fun for some people to do it, but I think it would put a lot of boogeymen in the room for people. They'd run it through there, and AI is going to show all these flaws or maybe things down the road that you weren't. And
so that means you've done it before.
No, I've never done it because I'm like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna pivot. So because that's what I see. And I don't know, like I said, I don't want to throw out names, but I believe they're here in the chat. But on one of the calls the other day, one of the persons on the call was telling someone like, hey, I've seen you on this call, whatever, 3-6 months already. You bring all these questions. You always have. He's like, at some point, you gotta just do something. All these other, you gotta figure. At some point, you gotta jump in and figure it out. Like, you come, you're on these calls and this, and it's like at this point, you're never gonna do anything because every time you come here, you're putting obstacles in front of you. And I somewhat see that's what AI does, right? And so it also depends on maybe what prompt you use, right? Like how you prompt the question. But a lot of people are using AI to evaluate things, and then it's like it brings out all types of scenarios, and you're just like, oh shit, I gotta watch out for this. And I think that person was also talking about someone brought a deal to one of the calls, and they were concerned about I think it was a panel in a closet, and it was like the person was just like, oh no, I can't do this deal now because of AI told me that, or something. I think that this panel, or maybe they didn't say AI, but they were concerned about this panel being in this closet, and then they're just like, yeah, okay, but it's not something to just walk away from a deal from, kind of thing. But like AI and stuff is putting so much obstacles and fear in front of people that is preventing them from even getting started. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Let's see. Oh, Joel's episode is going to be dropping soon. First episode from LA interview. Oh, first episode. Did Jacob's one drop yet?
Jacob's not out. This is the one with Hugo, and these are 40-minute interviews roughly, and they're into 10 minutes sections. So the first one's out.
So I don't know. They're trying to get me to say who said that on the call. I'm not gonna say it. You guys can get me in trouble.
Gus.
I would just I'll just say that it was not Gus. So I'll put him in the clear. If it was Gus, I would have threw him under the bus, the Gus bus. But it was not Gus. Yasik does say investing is not for everyone. One thing I don't get is people always spending energy on coming up with excuses instead of putting that energy into something productive. Yeah, so that kind of it relates to what I was just saying about, using AI. Like, it's like they're gonna run all these things through AI, and it's just like it shows all the obstacles in front, right? So, looks like Janelle's gonna turn into the call in school. For Stessa, Econ Webb, who dropped out of the school community, is asking what is school. He's probably going to cancel on going to Vegas again for the third year in a row.
So that was a joke. He knows what school is.
He was there for a little while, and then now he's not a part of school anymore. At least Joel is there, but he's not there, so at least he's a little bit better than
Semi there. Semi.
Yeah. Craig Parsons.
Ecom Web, that's Chris?
Yeah, that's Chris.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought he had a different handle.
Oh, don't get me. He's like you. He has Econ Web, Invest LYH. He has I forgot. He has like 4 X handles.
I have 1 X handle and I have 2 Instagrams, which I only use 1 Instagram now. So
yeah, now
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that joke again.
He has.
I'm over
Chris, you and Chris are very similar, man.
Craig, thanks for the compliment. Appreciate it.
Well, if you take it that way. Craig says, when I hear, where'd you go? When I hear more, I think having a job or business to earn more. So I get my hackles up about earning more is the same no matter where it comes from. I think he's talking about how he, earn more when you said earn more, but then he also talked about, I think, increasing equity, I believe. Let's see. Hey, Flavio, thanks for the super chat. So James Hillis says, Ryan, I don't know if he's doing that on purpose. Ryan Pinata won't do a flip unless he can clear 100K according to his teachings. Yeah, no, definitely. I think, oh, good Lord. Hold on. What am I having to deal with today? Remove this person, put this person on.
I have my phone on Do Not Disturb and get a phone call came in and then knocked me off. It doesn't make any sense.
All right, where was I? Right. So James Hill,
you were giving me amazing compliments, calling me similar to Chris Webb. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No, hold on. Yeah, like I said, Ryan Pinata won't do a flip unless he can clear 100K according to. So I kind of agree with that, but it's at a certain point, right? So I feel people should start in smaller markets, get their systems, learn how they want to do it, because the price, that the holding cost is not going to be as long. It's going to be a little bit easier learning curve. And then once you get your skills, then I definitely think it's probably better for you to go in a bigger market where you get better returns. And that's what a lot of people in Hawaii did. They started in Kansas City and all these small markets, kind of did their flips there. And once they got their systems honed in, then they started doing more flips in Hawaii. And with the price point, they're making much bigger returns for, in theory, the same amount of work, right? But Chris Webb says, AI is great, but it is not meant to replace original thought. Use it for your thought development, not to generate your. Well, I'm saying to that same thing, right? To me, it's putting too many thoughts in people's head, right? They run it through AI, and now there's way more scenarios for them to worry about, obstacles in front of them to look for, right? So I don't know. That's just the way I see it. Uh, Gemini will swipe your deal. Yeah, Gus is probably gonna message me after because he wants to know who said that on the call the other day. Um, I agree. Harrison says I agree. AI is too conservative and pessimistic. Yeah. So I think part of that too, and Cody talked about it on a call a couple weeks ago, is the way he prompts his questions too. So sometimes that might be able to help too. So the way he prompts it is he kind of I don't know exactly. It's on a video. I think some people have clipped it, but he talks about he kind of prompts it of coming from Robert Kiyosaki's thought process point of view on how debt is. How can I achieve my goal or whatever, kind of like more of a positive outlook on how I can accomplish this, not like evaluate something where it's going to start showing you maybe like the flaws in it, right? It's more like positive outlook, like with this person's view on debt and structure, how can I do this, right? Kind of thing. And now you're getting more type like ideas on how to solve the problem, right? And not so much just a general
Yeah.
blanket of what should I look out for and stuff, right? So I think the prompt also does help, right?
I mean, so what you're saying though too is just like, you're talking to AI, but AI becomes a reflection of your own personality in some ways too, of how you prompt it with the questions you ask, et cetera, et cetera. I mean,
Yeah, mine makes fun of me and talks shit back to me. It says, "Be nice to Gus." Uh, uh,
Gus is gonna hunt you down, bro.
oh, he's a living legend, man. I ain't gonna go to his territory, man. He's a living legend in his area, man. Um, Billy Jackson says, "Hey, I had a panel and a closet issue, and I had no problem with it. I had a problem with the seller price after I found it. No, that wasn't you, Billy. It was someone else. Someone talked about some lady brought I think it was a multifamily um deal to a call, and they were, yeah, so it wasn't, yeah, Billy, no, it wasn't you, man. Brady said, with so much AI floating around these days, I find myself subconsciously gravitating more towards human content. I guess more real has become more interesting to me. See, a lot of people probably would have thought it was Yasik, but it wasn't him. He wasn't on the call, but it wasn't him that said that to the person. This comment will probably, I'll skip it over, but if you want to probably know who it was, you just read the comments here. Econ Web says, "Where is Vegas?" James Hillis says, "If you can't handle an AI answer, you ain't going to be able to handle the eviction." Yeah, I think that's definitely, yeah. But I really see that's why a lot of people, it's preventing them from doing anything, AI. Like it just shows them too many things to be concerned about when it's like, oh, if that happens, you deal with it, right? I mean, like it's just, I mean, nobody wants to deal with an eviction, but chances are, if you're in this long enough, you're going to deal with it. And most people are kind of like, yeah, it sucks, but I got to the finish line of it, right? I mean, nobody wants to do an eviction, but it's like it's part of the game, right? And um, Mark the pot stirrer has limits. What do you? Yeah. Members only can find out the name. Sign up for my membership for $1.99, and I'll tell you who it was.
Did we talk about the Dodgers owner selling the company and like all the kind of Ponzi scheme with life insurance money and borrowing money? Did we talk about that?
I have not even seen anything about that. What is it all about?
So I think guy's name is Mark Walter. So he owns part of the Dodgers and part of the Lakers, and so he, I think, acquired the Lakers from the Buss family last year, and then literally a year later, he's selling it for like a $2 billion gain. But he also owns the Dodgers, right? And they have like he owns a company that's got an investment, a wealth building company, and then a life insurance company, and then like a sports and entertainment division, and all these massive salaries that the Dodgers have. I mean, you're talking about $1 billion payroll and all the deferred money. You just keep going buying players, buying players, buying players. That they're borrowing money from off of like they're doing loans against the life insurance collateral or some shit like that. So they're just basically borrowing money from their own entities to be able to pay for salaries. And it's just like, you think that, you know, someone like the Dodgers, a big market, LA, all the TV contracts, that like, oh yeah, they're winning and spending the money just because they're in a big market. It's like, no, they're doing crazy shit that no one else can really do, but they're all in a house of cards, just like many people. Like it's never that easy. There's always something to it. So I don't know. I bring it up because like we're all busting our ass here trying to make shit happen. Some people make it look really easy, but it's not really that easy. It never is. So
Funny you bring up the Lakers though. Tomorrow I'm going to do a special live stream with Gus and Mo from the community because I couldn't live stream yesterday because I had to take my mom to an appointment. But we're going to go noon Eastern tomorrow. But that's kind of the premise of tomorrow's discussion is generational wealth. So the clip is kind of related to they were talking about the Bus family and the Lakers. But yeah, so I don't want to share that clip right now. But I was gonna bring it up.
Okay.
It's kind of talking about that. But yeah, it's definitely not easy out there. I mean, I think, and that's what's so great about this community. And that's what helps is because when you go to a lot of these calls, and you're seeing that other people are like, oh yeah, this is a struggle or this is kind of hard, right? So it's like it's not as easy as people are making it on social media. So that's where I think the most value from the community is. It's not about yeah, so it's probably gonna laugh at this, but it's not about what toilet to buy and what countertop I'm gonna use and stuff like that, right? It's like, yeah, those things are important and but it's more being around the people that are like letting you know, like, hey, I did an eviction and I got through it, right? So hey, you're gonna have to deal with it at some point probably, but realize that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? It's those type of things and those relationships that are, I think, helping people progress in their journey. And like I said, yeah, toilets and all that stuff's important, but it's like that's not where the real value, I think, lies for me. So all right, I think I got permission. I'll just say it then.
no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It says right here.
Says what?
I don't know. Where'd the comment go? How come I don't see it anymore? Oh. So I'll just say it because if you read the chat, his name is right. He says whoever I'll read the chat. I won't say it. Whoever said that wouldn't be scared to be outed. So basically, that person, basically brought that out on the call. And if you want to talk about awkward silence, definitely there was a little awkward silence on that call after. But it was true. I mean, he's pretty much kind of true on it. Where is it? Oh, this is a great question by Harrison. Who would you want your AI business avatar to be? Someone that could double as a mentor. So you could put someone in. Who would you be?
Me personally?
Yeah, well, I mean, people in the chat can throw in theirs, but who would yours be?
Kobe. Just don't be a bitch. Just go to work.
I did not see that coming. Kobe, huh?
Or Jordan. I mean, if Michael Jordan was knocking on your door every morning to give you motivation, I mean, where do you think you could get to?
True. Yeah. That was the clip or that I shared that James sent it to me yesterday on Instagram. It was about it's funny at what is it? It's funny at 5:30 in the morning. There's no one else out there saying it must be nice or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
But there is one I got to bring up that Chris said. Good point on AI. Although AI thinks LeBrick is better than Larry Bird. So there's our first LeBron or LeBrick joke comment. So Chris Webb believes that Larry Bird is the greatest, and he was damn good. Too bad he got his back gave out on him a little bit earlier. Let's see. I don't want to. Sorry, let me skip over some of these. Gus says, my wife is like, who is that man calling your name every second? I said, that's just Mark. He misses me. I do miss Gus. I do miss Gus. One day he's gonna leave us, man. He's gonna have Grant Cardone and he's gonna be like, peace out. I see you guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Craig says exactly. I think you're talking about your Dodgers. Exactly, Joe. That's how it's done. It's not a house of cards. Lynn said, Lynn is here. What is the hidden wealth creator in real estate nobody talks about? Ooh. What do you mean? Hidden wealth creator. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Hidden wealth creator in real estate nobody talks about. That nobody talks about that. Let me think about that. That nobody talks about. That's why. That nobody talks about. I mean, if I'm gonna go simple on it, I'm just gonna say it's really just having thick skin in a sense. I think it's just being able to work with people, thick skin and being able to work with people. I think that's super important. Because it's already hard enough as it is. And if you make things harder, it's definitely gonna be a long journey. So I definitely feel like being able to work with people and having thick skin and not taking things personal is super valuable. Oh shit! What is it?
I mean,
That is true too. Yasik says, marry someone with a lot of real estate and divorcing them.
I mean, like look at Doncic's scenario. Like, dude's worth hundreds of millions of dollars out there doing his thing. Wife divorces him with kids and then takes half.
So Craig makes a great point. It's the title of the live stream today. Is the hit? But I don't know if I would say that's hidden though. I guess it is, right? I think in our community people know it, right? So I definitely feel like, yeah, like you're saying, right? People that maybe are thinking about, like, before I really got into real estate investing, I just thought appreciation was the how you build wealth through real estate, right? So I definitely can see that is maybe you could say that's the hidden wealth creator, inflation induced debt destruction, right?
Is Lynn asking that question to be funny, or was she trying to get at what the point of the video was, which is the debt destruction part of it?
Lynn just likes to stir shit up nowadays. Like, seriously, she is learning very well. She's but getting very good at it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she's trying to stir shit up or what. But I think part of it is just maybe because that's also why people are easily walking away from real estate or not starting, right? Because like I said, if I was to look at it, when I started, and I just was like in my mindset, like, oh, property goes up in value, that's how you build wealth. And if I was looking at it today, like, oh shit, that's not that's not what it's doing, or that's not, I can't make money, right? So to some extent, I can see why maybe people that are trying to get started or not in real estate are trying to look for some sort of that hidden wealth benefit. Yeah, Lynn, you know it. Let's see. Yasik says fake motivation is overrated. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think motivation in general is overrated, fake or not, right? Because at some point, motivation goes away, right? And it just comes down to getting, like Kobe would say, right? You just got to do it, right? You got to get it done. Trade Better says, Joe, with private equity now investing in youth leagues, would it be profitable to be an owner of a small sports team?
I mean, I don't know much about the youth league part of it. I guess they're talking about like travel teams or select teams. I don't know much about that. But like, yeah, I mean, if you know people in private equity, that's the first step. Is how do you get in touch with people and make connections with people that are in private equity? That would be a win.
All right. Wait. Hyder saying I'm skipping over his T-ball comment. Oh, here. The tough love, hard words were spoken during the Monday morning real estate accountability call. It is an accountability call with accountability being in the title. Tough love and accountability are cuddle. Oh, cuddle buddies. Tough love and accountability. Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that, like I said, you can see who said that, or kind of called that person out on one of the calls. But that's sometimes what we need in the community, right? People that are going to just basically tell someone to their face. And that person basically said, hey, you can hate me for what I'm saying, but this is what I'm seeing, and I'm going to let you know, and you can either not want to talk to me ever again or what, but this is what I see. And that's kind of that tough love Hyder's talking about, right? Let me see. Let me wrap it up soon, but let's see what else we got before. Yasik, I agree.
Who is Kevin? Is the 22-year-old? Who is that? He's in school.
He's in school.
Cool. I don't think I've heard that name before, but yeah, I mean, just the idea of having somebody that young in the community that's exciting.
No, Troy. Yes, Lynn stirs shut up because she's like my young Jedi. But there's a lot of dark side in her, I see. Hold on. Billy Jack, hidden wealth creator is demonstrating your ability. Nobody wants to work with someone that is all talk. Yeah, that is true. Yep. Hyder says shout out to the Monday morning accountability call. So yeah, a lot of people I think don't realize that there's a call every day, and sometimes they get caught up in the titles. Maybe some, one says Gen Z, one is short-term rental, one is out of state investing. But you know what? If that's the call you can make, I definitely would recommend just jump in on that call. If that's the one that fits your time, try and get there, make it part of your routine, and be disciplined and consistent with it. And I definitely think that it's very helpful just jumping on those calls, right? And you can always have people answer your questions and whatnot. The Monday accountability call starts at 6 a.m. Pacific. So if I can make it, all of you should be able to make it, because it is at 3 a.m. in the morning here. So if I'm there, all of you should be there. Let's see. Yeah, Mac. The hardest part is getting the person. We have to hold the host accountable, because it's like Joe's. It's like late every Monday. It starts late every month now. Not anymore. He's been pretty good now, but he needs someone to wake him up, I think. Let's see. Yep, 6 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, every call has its own little vibe. Every call is different, Lynn says, I agree, Mark. Nobody talks about how much thick skin needs to be developed to deal with problems. Hope for the best, but expect problems. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, that kind of goes back into the, Hyder was talking about discipline. It's like discipline, something that you build over time. Same thing that Lynn's talking about. It's developed.
Yasik says the person that doesn't work. Hey, I don't need if I don't need to work, I don't need to be up at 3 a.m. But that is true. Mark Marin, I know I'm usually awake. I'm usually working out though, so that's why I don't really speak very often in that call. Usually I'm doing something. That's just kind of actually something I feel like I should maybe comment on. But for the most part, I'm just listening in and making sure Max is there. That's what it is. Yeah, that's all I really got, man. I mean, too bad Ike couldn't get his Wi-Fi to work. So maybe we gotta give away Starlink or something next time. But there, so
Right.
no, yeah. But people.
How much is Starlink? $100?
I don't know. I gotta look into getting a generator because fucking damn storms all the time. But people should be receiving all their gifts or prizes that they won on the giveaway a couple weeks ago. So I know a lot of people got their coffee mugs and t-shirts from Frank's merchandise store. However, Emily also donated some shirts, and some people wanted to order them. I think they one was "Capitalism Works If You Do." So
Oh, nice.
Alex Dutter posted himself showing the shirt, and people saw it and they comp. So Emily, they're still making some more. If people want to order those shirts, reach out to Emily. But there is a picture of it. Alex is wearing it on one of his school posts. Lynn got her mug. Billy got his mug, Living the Dream. Lynn wanted an ORAC ticket. Well, yeah. Anyways. Janelle, you haven't Janelle, yours was which one? I forget. Was yours the capitalism one also, Janelle? I gotta check. All right. Well, anyways, I'll look into that. Remind me which one you were receiving, Janelle, because the rest should have been. And it seems like everyone got the rest of their stuff. But yeah, if you haven't bought your tickets, everyone, Vegas tickets are on sale for January. So far, like I heard Henry Washington, Scott Trench, Coach Carson's going to be there, Jonathan Twombly. I think Rich Somers is going to be speaking. Looks like. Who did Mark call out though? No, it wasn't me. Or maybe he's asking who got called out.
No, yeah, he's asking. Yeah, he wants to know.
Well, that I don't want to say.
He wants to know the tea.
I don't want to say. Lynn is your Jedi. Yes, but like I said, there's darkness in her. I'm worried about the dark side in her. Oh, T-shirt from Emily. Okay, Jenna, I'll reach out to Emily. Let's go back to that. I love the simplicity of that statement. Capitalism works if you do. Just 5 words. Yeah, it's a very cool shirt. But Frank's working on some new things. I believe he's collaborating with Dion also for his merchandise store. So he got approved. They're going to put some Dionism shirts out there soon, I believe. I believe he's working on some more one rental at a time versions for Zuber. So Frank's doing a lot of cool stuff out there. So if you want to see what's new, definitely go check out it. I think I'll throw it in. I think I have it here. Hold on. Yeah, go check out his merchandise. I don't know if he has anything new that came out, but go check it out. Lynn told me about that. Wait, what? Lynn told me about your in that private chat putting those photos. Lynn told me about that private chat. Which photos? About the Gus bus and all that? Anyways, we need one bird. Yeah. Well, Chris, you got to be in school though to request shirts. You can't be out of school and request merchandise. No, but yeah, Joe, thanks for doing this, man. Anything else you want to wrap it up? Any final words you want to say?
No, it's good. It's fun.
We're gonna have to do like a Wi-Fi test for people before they jump on the live stream.
Yeah.
Well, he said
he
said
nobody from Kansas. Like, it just needs to be a new.
No,
rule.
I'm serious. He has the work every time he jumps on. I missed that giveaway show. Oh, yeah, that was like a couple weeks ago. Me and Kurt, we gave away the 2 tickets. So James Hillis won a ticket, and Mikey got a ticket, but he donated it to Flavio. So Flavio and James Hillis have general admission tickets that I got to get for them. And there was a bunch of T-shirts and stuff, merchandise from Frank's store.
That's badass.
Yeah, man. Probably all the AI photos at last year's day. Gus is talking about the WhatsApp chat. That's why. Yeah, Chester will be starting one up soon, probably as we get closer to the event, so people can stay tuned.
Lynn says you have to be tuned in every day.
No, we announced it. We had a giveaway that one day, that giveaway event, and we did the wheel and everything. And I made a mistake. I gotta remember to. So I turn off the ads next time we do that, because I think it might have messed up people answering questions. Yeah, because like if you didn't have premium, you might have got
Uh,
an ad during a question or something, right? So next time I gotta just turn that off so that it's everyone can answer a question and whatnot. But yeah, and like I said, I'll be back tomorrow a little bit later. It'll be noon Eastern with Gus and Mo from the community, so it should be a fun one. And it won't be live unless anybody wants to reach out to me and wants to do Friday. Emily is going to be in Buffalo for the food truck Buffalo Wings contest. They're not participating this year, but they're going to be there. So she's going to be in Buffalo. So she's going to have to skip Friday. Yeah, Victor, there's no WhatsApp chat right now for the Vegas event. But and for the other WhatsApp chat, I don't have admin capability, so it's not my call. Janelle, see drama queen. She just checked her mail. She got her shirt.
oh,
I won't even say anything. All right. Yeah, everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's always fun. Like I said, sorry Ike couldn't stay on a little bit longer. Definitely, he had a lot of stuff he wanted to bring up. He definitely wanted to make fun of Joel for sharing all his own posts on Facebook from X, screenshotting his own things and sharing.
Hey, that's how we roll here. We just share. Sometimes it's your own stuff. Sometimes it's not.
Oh, you know what? Hyder is an admin. So Gus, if you want in, reach out to Hyder. So there, Hyder's asking Victor. So yeah, Hyder and Chester are admins on that WhatsApp chat.
You know what we could do is everyone post on X. Pick one day, everyone make a post, and we all just share each other's posts on Facebook. Get like 1 billion views in one day. Just
There's
sharing
not
each
a
other's
lot of
stuff.
people on X, man. People are very against X for whatever reason. There's not
People
a
in
lot.
this community or people in general?
In this community, there's not too many people there.
But
Yeah.
not that they're not there. But they're actually against it. They're against
Well, I
it.
don't know if against it is the right word. They
They just
you
don't do
know,
it.
well, maybe when they were on it, when it was Twitter, there's a lot of nonsense going on too, right? So maybe people just had a bad taste in their mouth. But yeah, Lynn is anti-Elon. She said that's why. So yeah. All right, man. Thanks for doing this. I will see you next
Cool.
week. James Hiller says I don't X. Well, you gotta get X. You can get X money and get 6% interest on your money in there. Did you get your X money yet?
No, I didn't do it.
How did? Oh, but you got the offer.
I got the offer. Yeah, I
Mm.
just didn't get to it yet.
Yeah. So yeah, they're paying 6% on your money right now. So what
It's not bad.
do you mean it's not
Yeah.
bad? Where else is
But
better?
it's limited though. It's only like $100 or $1,000, right?
No,
Wow.
there's different tiers to it.
I guess I
So
misread it then.
no, yeah. So there is different ones, I believe. Like it's like like you only assert, but there is one where it's like up to whatever amount you put in. I mean, it's FDIC insured to whatever 250. But
Gotcha.
no, definitely people. I mean, I'm not saying, but there is a lot of good real estate information there, and there's definitely a lot of it's called retweet, right? Real estate Twitter.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of real estate people there. And if you want to see Zuber's spicy side, then you go to X. That's where he's picking fights and shit over there.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you folks tomorrow if you can. Noon Eastern. Me, Gus, and Mo. Thanks, Joe.